What's up everybody? Welcome to Torque Junkies. Today I review the 2018 Subaru WRX and the 2017 Volkswagen Golf GTI. I'm going to go over all the main features, performance, and daily drivability. That's all coming at you right now. Thank you so much to Schumacher of the Palm Beaches for making this video possible. They're a great dealership and they're located in West Palm Beach, Florida on Okeechobee Boulevard off of I-95 on the west side. Thank you very much. For over 2 decades, the GTI and WRX have been legendary competitors. One, a hot hatch that started it all, and the other, a rally-inspired legend. Now the real question is, which one is most legendary? Which one really carries its heritage the best? Which one of these is going to be today's top contender and winner? So that begs the question, which one of these two right now claims the 4-cylinder performance car bargain? Let's find out, starting with the Subaru. So starting with the looks, it's obviously a cool looking car. I mean, you have huge fender flares, big hood scoops, a big front grille, you have quad exhaust, and this isn't even the STI. I mean, you know, it's obvious. However, maybe it's a little too obvious. I kind of like the idea of it being a little more simple and a little more subtle. However, some people love this look, and I'm not going to say it's a bad looking car. I actually like the way it looks, but it's really whichever one you prefer. Me personally, I really like if it's a little more subtle. Except for the color. This color is definitely by far the best looking color out of either of the two cars. Now, one thing I really like about the car too is that it's actually very spacious. Obviously it's a sedan and it's not a hatchback, so you do get a little extra room. The back seats are very roomy, the front's very roomy, you got a nice trunk in the back. I mean, overall, spacious car. Now this is a Subaru, so I do think that this interior will definitely hold up the test of time. I mean, everything is just good quality, and I mean, Subarus overall last forever. Now, as far as the infotainment system, it needs a little bit of TLC and some revamping. I mean, it doesn't even have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Ouch.
Get your shit together.
Now, as far as all the dials and knobs, feels really good, feels high quality. I mean, when you go and turn it, I just want to keep turning it just for the reason of turning, because it just feels expensive. As far as the steering wheel goes, it's really nice and premium, but holy buttons, there's like buttons everywhere. Aside from all the buttons there, and the good thing is that they all work, but aside from that is that, you know, the steering wheel, the 9 and 3 feels really good. I like that it's a flat bottom steering wheel, so that's really nice too. I like the red stitching you get in there too, and also that it's a leather wrapped steering wheel, so that's also nice and racy looking. Now the backup camera is actually really good, but I mean, I'm not really that surprised because it is a Subaru. They're one of the safest cars you can possibly buy. Subaru has definitely stepped up their interior, big time.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, all right, let's drive this thing. Now, the Subaru WRX is powered by a 2.0 4-cylinder turbocharged boxer engine with 268 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. And you get all that at about 25 to 3,500 RPMs. All right, so we're now in the Subaru. Well, I do notice first off, you got to kind of wind out the engine in order to get the power out. But I have to say that it makes some nice sounds. And the cool part is too is the sound's actually real. But this thing is solid though. I mean, it is very, very good at handling. Obviously it's 4-wheel drive, but you know, Subaru does 4-wheel drive better than almost anybody else does in the business. But the thing that I noticed is that, you know, I'm in 4th gear I'm going about 48 miles an hour. I'm trying to go and hit the gas, and I gotta really wait for that turbo to kick in. But obviously if I go down to 3rd, rev it out, even like that still takes a little bit for the engine to really, for the turbo to really kick in. I mean, it has got some sharp, precise handling. Especially driving in traffic like this, it just, I don't know how to explain it. It's not that exciting. I want to test the handling. Once, people do get out of your way and you really do get to stretch out the wings, it is a lot of fun. It's definitely a lot of fun, I gotta say. Let's see how it accelerates. Oh, when it kicks in, it kicks in. Nice. Woo! That's really nice. Wow, that was impressive.
Impressive. Most impressive.
Oh, so it just, when that power kicks in, man, it is intense. And the turbo spules are it just sounds so good. I just love hearing all the clinks and clanks in the engine. You hear everything in the engine. That's the difference between this and the GTI, is that the GTI, all of it's like more of a inauthentic sound, but this one, it's like everything is, it's what you hear is what you get. Now this car does achieve 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds, which is not bad. Not like the previous WRX though. The previous WRX hit 0 to 60 and I think it was like 4.7 seconds or 4.8, which is like something ridiculous, especially for its time. It's pretty amazing. But 5.2, it's really good actually. I'll take that. Now, even though this one does have a lot more horsepower than the GTI, it has identical torque numbers. Both of them have 258 pound-feet of torque. I think I turn on one of these. Oh yeah, wow. It's like no problem. It just eats up the corners. I expect nothing less with this car being four-wheel drive. But that's something that's amazing, is that, for what you pay for a car that's front-wheel drive, you can get a four-wheel drive car for the same price with more horsepower. I mean, that's pretty amazing. And now we compare the Mark 7 Golf GTI. Now I like this exterior because it's sporty yet simple. Something you can go and take to a fancy restaurant, or you can go and take to a car meet. Either way, you'll be accepted at both. Now we're in the Volkswagen. So stepping into the interior, you can really tell that Volkswagen knows what they're doing. I mean, the quality in this car is really unmatched, by its rivals as far as, fit and finish, quality. The dash and door panels feel very nice to the touch, and that's really thanks to their soft touch material. Also, the doors close very nicely. Nice and solid thumps, and also feel solid. That's great. The Fender audio system is also fantastic. It has 400 watts and also has 9 speakers and a subwoofer, which is fantastic. Now, as far as parts that nobody feels, still plastic. But also, like Subaru, strategically placed. Now, as far as the knobs and dials go, they also feel very high quality. They feel good, but I have to say, the knobs in the WRX feel a little more high quality than the Volkswagen GTI, which is surprising to me. I mean, you go and you pull the knobs and yeah, it feels nice when you turn it, but it feels kind of loose, which is surprising to me. I'm actually really surprised about that. The steering wheel is really nice. The 9 and 3 is really good. You have also buttons, but it looks a little classier on this one. And also, not only that, the navigation system is okay. However, it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so it makes it that much better. One thing I also like about the steering wheel is the flat bottom steering wheel, so it gives you that racy feel. I do actually really like how the steering wheel on the GTI looks better. However, I have a GTI, and I know how these steering wheels are and how the leather lasts over time, and it looks kind of plasticky over time. Even though they look very premium in the beginning, maybe 6 months to a year, but after that it really just looks rubbery and plasticky. Versus the WRX, they don't look as good, but they look more like that through its entire lifespan. Now the backup camera is pretty good. I wish it was a little bigger, but it's very good quality. You can also adjust the lightness of it, you can adjust the color, which is also very nice. Now as far as spaciousness, well, yeah, it's very spacious. It's a Golf GTI. I mean, any Golf you really get into, it's a hatchback. You're gonna have plenty of room in the back, in the trunk. You're gonna have plenty of room in the back seats. I would say you have a little more room in the back seats in the WRX, but the back seats here are still almost equal, I think, or maybe as good. But the trunk, though, when you go put those seats back, I mean, you have so much room, so much height. It's fantastic. The seats are nice and bolstered, although not as bolstered as the WRX, though. But overall, still good seats. Okay, now we are in the GTI. So, I'm actually in the GTI Performance Pack, and this one's not in a manual like the WRX. So this one does a 0 to 60 time in a claimed 5.7 seconds by Motor Trend, and also various others too. Now the Volkswagen GTI, especially the Performance Pack, so it does produce 10 more horsepower, like I said. So it comes out to be 220 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. Now, less horsepower, but the exact torque numbers as the WRX. So that's actually pretty interesting. And I gotta say, and also you receive that power at 1500 RPMs. That's pretty much idle. So it's pretty cool, actually. Now, Motor Trend, like I said, claims that this gets 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds, and I totally believe it, and also have tested it. It definitely gets around that area. And I'm in sea level. I'm in Florida, so I'm about 20 minutes away from the ocean. Okay, let's see the acceleration on this car. Holy crap! Wow, wow, it's really good. Oh, it's so loud. Man, it's very loud. And even though it's a fake sound, it's an intoxicating fake sound. I really actually enjoy it. I mean, I do prefer it being authentic sounds, but even if it's inauthentic, still it sounds great. And the acceleration is fantastic. And the thing I like about this is that any level I'm at, it accelerates well because the turbo kicks in right there. The turbo's just right there when you want it. And if you don't want to really accelerate that hard, you can go in eco mode, which feels nice and quiet. It's nice and easy to drive. The steering wheel becomes a little looser. You know, the engine becomes quieter. You can actually go and tune that out a little bit if you want to, since it's, you know, an authentic sound anyways. But it's a lot of fun. Oh, here, I'm gonna take this turn here, see how it compares to the WRX. Oh, shoot. Okay, so it doesn't handle as good as the WRX. Oh, but it still handles really good with the limited slip differential. It still doesn't feel like your ordinary front-wheel drive car. I have to say, this car feels faster than the WRX. Now, it doesn't handle as good as the WRX, and it's not actually as fast as the WRX, but it just feels like it though, and man, that's definitely worth something. Here we go, I'm gonna take this turn here, and thank you, limited slip differential. This car's a lot of fun. Oh yeah. Now in the WRX, in roads like this, even if, you know, if there's somebody in front of me, I can't really go that fast because there's just somebody in front of me. In the GTI, it doesn't matter. I can go the same speed as I'm going right now and just have a lot of fun because it kicks in like that. It's just going, just ready to go whenever you want. That's pretty enticing, I gotta say. It's very enticing. You can tell it's a front-wheel drive car though. Sweet Jesus. It doesn't take those corners as smoothly. Like, you're on that WRX, you're taking a corner, it feels like you're on a roller coaster. It's just like, I know it's cliche, but it feels like it's on rails. And then you drive this one and it feels like, you know, the rails are a little loose and it's gonna fall over.
No, stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
I'm just kidding, it feels pretty good, just not like the WRX. But the straightaways, you just can't, it feels like a rocket, wow. that is fantastic. I know that the sound is fake and it's not authentic and whatever you want to say about it, but it still sounds great. It still handles pretty good. For a front-wheel drive car, it doesn't get much better than this. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see. You're gonna see how it accelerates. Oh. There's no torque steer though. Well, I got a little bit of torque steer, but something would have gotten the WRX, but still, that was pretty fun, and it took it pretty well. Wow. That's the difference, really. You know, one of them, you have to really wind it out to enjoy the car and enjoy the experience. And the other one, you don't have to wind it out. You can drive it in traffic, you can drive it in a back road, you can drive it to commute. It doesn't matter, you'll enjoy it. And that's something I really like about this car. And also, you know, when you're inside the car, it's a nicer cabin to be in my opinion. Now, yeah, the WRX has gotten much better and it's much nicer than it was. And honestly, it's not a huge difference. It's not like this one's that much, like extremely nicer than the WRX. But it is a little bit nicer and I like it. It has a little sense of class and, you know, it goes a long way for me. So my verdict is, if you want a really high performance looking vehicle and a high performing vehicle, go with the WRX. But if you want something that is really premium, really great at commuting. It's quiet and racy, both at the same time. Maybe not as racy as the WRX, however, you get a really good combo of both. I would go with the 2017 Golf GTI. Now, for me though, personally, I would go with the GTI, obviously because I've had multiple GTIs. However, I have a lot of friends who own WRXs and I've driven them many, many times. I still go for this car because I'm more of a commuter. I've also highly thought about getting a WRX, and I love these cars. However, for me, commuting is more important, so that's why I go with the GTI. However, it doesn't have to be everybody's choice. The WRX is also a fantastic car. Thank you so much for watching. This concludes my video. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like. If you have any questions, you're welcome to leave a comment and we'll answer ASAP. And let me know which one of the two cars you prefer. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for exciting new content every week. I'm Hector, this is Torque Junkies. See you next week.